So now that the passenger side door handle lock is fixed, I'm gonna move on to my next item on the list. This too was broken when that car arrived to me, and that was the hood latch. A lot of people, when they go to open these, treat this latch as it's a hinge, when in fact it's just on a cable that you need to pull directly straight out. So as you can see, this one is broken, and I've been opening it for the past 3 years with the pair of pliers. So I have one on order at Honda. It's roughly about $22, and I'm hoping I just have to remove this kick panel, and then if I can get the car up in the air, remove the tire, and I think I should be able to access it through the fender liner by removing it and not having to remove the fender. I believe I will have to take the bumper off, which isn't a big deal, but I'm trying to not remove as many body panels as I don't have to. I just don't want the lines to not line up, and I don't have a ton of experience with that. So I'm gonna shy away from taking this guy off unless I absolutely have to. And I think, if I remember right, when I did have this fender liner off, I will have full access to the frame rail there, which that will run along, and then it just feeds behind the headlight and then wraps around and comes through here. So this bumper will have to come off, and hopefully that's it. So I'm okay. So I got the tire off, and man, it's dirtier than I want in here, but I'm not going to completely detail it until the winter's over, and then I'll tackle it and give it a good clean. But for now, if I'm going to keep driving it on dry winter days, this is what I'm going to be dealing with. So there's no point to continue to just chasing my tail. So I think what I need to do now is remove these fender clips here, and I should have access to the upper frame rail there, which I assume that cable is running along. So I'm gonna pop these clips, and we'll see what we get. Perfect. So just as I suspected, it comes out right there, and then runs along that frame rail. And I don't think I'll have to bring this down any further because it goes right in there, which starts to tuck behind the headlight and then through a grommet. So it's going to be one of the deals where I'm just fishing it through and should be able to snap it back into that clip. So now I'm going to work on getting the panel off on the interior and seeing what that looks like. Okay, so I got the front bumper off, and this should be pretty straightforward. This is a little dirty. I'm going to clean this up, but here's where the cable connects, and it looks like it's just held in by a nut, and then it wraps around and then back through behind the tail or the headlight, and I should be able to probably have to fish it from the cabin through, since the fixed piece in the cabin is much bigger and won't be able to go through any of the grommets. So I'm going to work on getting this off, and that'll probably be the stopping point until the part arrives in a couple of days from Honda. So I did have to remove the latch, which is fine, because now I can clean it up. I think it's excessively dirty and it doesn't need to be that way. So I'm gonna put it in a bucket, hit some degreaser on it, let it soak, and then once I get it dried, I will re-grease the areas that need to be re-greased. Alright guys, got a few things from Honda. Check them out. It's always nice getting that red label. All right, so let's see what we have here. So I got a new fresh minty dipstick. Surprisingly, that's only, excuse me, 20 bucks. And here is the hood latch pull, I guess. So that looks great. And they do give you a new grommet. I was wondering if that would be supplied. So that's good. I also got a few miscellaneous hardware bolts. Gonna just replace a few under the hood. These 3 go on the fuse box. And the original ones that are on there were a zinc, like a yellow zinc. So these will look good. And then I just got a few random other ones for some brackets. The clutch slave cylinder bracket, I'm gonna replace those as well. And then I did get a new washer fluid cap, but I decided to take this out. I don't really have a need for it because, again, it's not driven in the rain or all season type conditions. So I just decided to remove it and get rid of it. I'll do something with these wires, probably zip tie them up and make sure they're safe from the elements. And so therefore now nothing's here. So kind of cleans it up a little bit. Again, it wasn't an eyesore with the blue cap here. It looked fine, but one less thing under there. So I am going to tackle replacing this bolt, that one, and then this one back there. And I also have hardware to replace these 2 bolts as well. These are aftermarket ones that I got from Ace. So now we'll have the appropriate bolts in there that go there. So not a big change, but very subtle, and it definitely looks new and clean. So I like it. And I have the other ones installed over here. Again, small potatoes, but they're the appropriate bolts that belong there. I'm gonna end up replacing this one along with that one as well. So I was able to get these last 2 bolts installed. They were just delayed with Honda, but anyways, they're in there now. It looks good. It looks brand new. Unfortunately, this bracket is kind of showing its age. It's not as clean as I want it to get. So I'm going to respray this once the temperature warms up, as well as the bracket that's holding the reservoir here. So those are some things for spring. But I think I'll do the overflow bracket as well. That'll just freshen up. There is some scuff marks up here, and if it's all uniform, I think it'll look much nicer. But with that being said, I'm gonna push forward on getting the cable installed. So I don't want this apart any longer than it has to be. So I do have the cable here, and again, it's only 20 bucks from Honda, thank goodness. So I'm gonna go ahead and start routing it in there. I am waiting on a couple clips that go in the fender. Getting them out was difficult just because there's no access to them, and you can see they're kind of you know, roughed up a little bit, and I doubt these are gonna work. I could go to AutoZone or the parts store and see if I could get something similar that would work, but they're about $1.20 from Honda, and they'll arrive in a couple days. So I'm still gonna route the cable and get the bumper back on, get it all working, and then the last thing I'll do is just install these last 2 that end up running up here along the frame rail. So I'm gonna get this cable fished through here and mount it on the inside of the car and continue on. Okay, so the latch is installed and it's lined up. There are some reference marks on the left and right side for adjustments, but I was able to just find where it was installed before removing it, and so I've placed it in that same exact spot. So we should be good to go as we shut this here. Perfect. All right, let's go see if the latch or pull actually works. Perfect. Awesome. So now I'm just going to button the rest of this up, and we'll be good to go. All right, so I was able to get the bumper back on, and I have tested the latch as well as the pole multiple times, and it seems to be working like it should. So the only thing I am waiting on are these last 2 clips that are going to be coming from Honda the next couple days, and that'll allow me to attach the cable that runs along the frame rail in there, and then I can reinstall the fender liner. So I'm going to call this one job completed for this video. And so thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, and I will catch you guys on the next one.